Welcome to the Third Win channel, where today we're doing a tier list of the iCarly Revival series episodes. This is a bit of a series we do on this channel, and with the finale now finished, we can finally do the first season of iCarly. So, I just want to mention real quick, I'm a little sick, so if I sniffle, I'm sorry. And the last thing before the video starts, we do episode reviews. We just wrapped up our last one, so you can go check those out if you're interested. But let's start our tier list. So here's your standard tier list, and here's our modified tier list with, favorites, great, good, okay, and could skip. We're also going to do a bit of a ranking as we go, but we'll go in order from the first episode to the 13th, and I'll give my thoughts on each episode. First up, we got iStart Over, the pilot where it all begins. We got some really great moments here and some funny moments. It all starts off with iCarly's boyfriend breaking up with her on Instagram Live, which is kind of how the whole episode starts, and she needs a whole month to recover, but then she gets the idea, hey, I'm going to start iCarly up again by myself without Sam. We also get the background about what happened to Sam, and we also get these heartfelt moments like you see in this picture where Carly's talking to Freddie, and you really start to feel that iCarly energy come back again. This is probably my favorite moment from this episode when they're talking here, when he's kind of like, I don't know, comforting her and trying to help her through this breakup. So this episode, I think, is a great one. Maybe it's a little bit underwhelming for a pilot, and maybe I would have liked to see her return from Seattle instead. So that's why it doesn't get that favorites, but it is what it is. I think it's all right. It's great. But I would rank it about number 5. So moving on to the second episode, I Hate Carly. I honestly quite like this episode. So I would... Well, just describing the episode, we get to see Nora again. We get to see I Hate Carly 57, which I thought was really funny. I also really liked Carly's murder board with all the suspects, including Ms. Briggs and Lubert. Some great flashbacks. And we get to see just a lot of... I don't know. I thought a lot of funny moments. Not everyone liked this episode as much, but from the first 3 episodes, this episode kind of connected me with the old iCarly world the most. Maybe because of Nora. I don't know. But I'd put this episode as well in great. And, yeah, in 6th. You know, I think in terms of enjoyability, I think I enjoyed this one more than iStart Over, but because it's the pilot, I felt kind of wrong about putting it anywhere lower than 5. But yeah, these episodes are both great. Next, we got iFauxpologize, and... to be honest, I don't really love this episode, and that's because I think this one was a little bit too woke. I think they nailed a lot of the social media stuff and the meme templates and whatever. We also get the reappearance of Miranda's famous meme from Drake and Josh, but to me, especially when you get to the gallery and you have these people like with bullhorns marching and protesting and all that, and about canceling and all this, I thought it was a little bit too much, and I didn't really like how the episode ended. So for me, honestly, I think I could skip this episode. I just didn't love it. And yes, it gets the brown number 13 in the right corner. So unfortunate, but I just didn't love this episode. Moving on, we got I Got Your Back, where Harper helps Carly design a dress for this event which she is going to kind of compete with Bo in a way. I didn't love this episode as well. I think 3 and 4 are some of the weakest episodes. It wasn't eventful enough for me, you know? So, yeah, this one goes in okay. Next up, oh yeah, and it also gets the 12th spot. So we've gone through the worst now, okay? Now it's all looking up from here. Next, we got iRobot Wedding, which is Neville's wedding, which I thought was an amazing episode. This is where Carly and Freddie and the gang get invited to Neville's wedding. And, you know, we get to see Neville again, and his appearance is fantastic. And he reprises the role perfectly. I think it's a really well-written episode. Carly thinks his wife, or his wife-to-be, is a robot. So she literally throws magnets at her and spills water on her to test. And then, of course, Neville has a trap where... it's actually a trap for Carly to marry him, but things end out all right because Neville's wife, the kind of fake wife, actually wants to be together with him, so they do actually get married. Also, on the side, you have Spencer and Harper having a bit of a competition, like they do throughout the season, really. But this episode, I don't know, there's also that moment between Freddie and Carly where they're kind of slow dancing, which, you know, for all the Creddy lovers, is is spicy. I don't know what it is about it. It's just such an intimate moment. So I thought that was really nice as well. So this episode for me, it definitely goes in the favorites. I think it's iconic for bringing Neville back, and number 2 in the whole season. So yeah, I love that episode. Next, we got I'm Cursed, which I think it was mixed when I was reading the comments. Not everyone loved this episode, but I thought it was quite an entertaining one. And I think the birthday curse is, again, a very relevant thing to bring back from the original series. I thought it was quite funny. Maybe killing the fortune teller was a bit far, but I thought that the dark humor about her birthday being cursed was quite funny. And I mean, they didn't need to reveal to her that she died, but I hope they bring this back at some point, because I thought it was really funny. And otherwise, yeah, I think it's a great episode, honestly. I quite liked it. It kept me entertained. Next, I mean, it goes to number 8 spot. Okay, next we got I Need Space. And what can I say about I Need Space? I love the change of setting, but other than that, I don't know. It just wasn't really an episode I loved. I thought it was interesting from a business standpoint. Oh, how to it's kind of like WeWork, if you know the company, where they offer like office spaces, but it's more of a cult, and they steal their data in these like pod thingies, but they kind of just exploit kind of, I don't know, I'm not going to go into it too much, but I thought it was okay. It didn't entertain me a lot, but I like the change of setting, like I said, and I thought it was good, but it wasn't great. I thought it was number 11 to me. Maybe it should have been a little higher, maybe number 10, but no, 11 is about right for this one. And I didn't in the comments, I saw that people didn't really love the episode either. Moving on, we got I Love Gwen, where we get to meet one of Freddy's ex-wives, and I really thought it was a heartfelt moment where Millicent tries to get her former parents to be together again, and you know, Harley trying to help Millicent with this, and the play was fun, and the competition between Harper and Spencer. You see Spencer's toast creation in the background again. I thought it was a really heartfelt episode, and I thought I like these more character focused, down to earth episodes a lot. So to me, this episode goes in great for sure, and I'll give it a ranking of about 7, just behind those really good episodes iStart Over and iCarly. So from 7 and up are the episodes I really enjoy, like really enjoy. Next up, we have IMLM. I thought this episode was quite entertaining, about sand, and we got to see Mr. Bad Boy Griffin return. Not with Pee-wee babies this time, but with literally fish food disguised as some kind of helping agent. Which I thought the dance you see in this picture was very funny, and overall this episode entertained me way more than it should have. The ending was predictable, I guess, but I don't know. I thought it was a fun idea, the sand idea, and overall it was an entertaining episode. But I did see some people didn't like it in the comments, but I think this episode was quite good, and it deserves the 9th spot. Moving on, we have I Take a Girls Trip, which for anyone that ships creddy, this episode, oh boy, it's just so good. We get to meet Maeve for the first time, who was lost at sea for 4 years, and otherwise, just all the moments that we get to see, like, between Freddy and Carly, and it opens kind of a mystery of what they've been through together, because in the 4 years in between, because there's just such a tension between them. It's hard to describe, but it was really entertaining. It's watching Carly decline the threesome while Freddy was like, maybe, and I don't know. Something about this episode was just so special, and I just enjoyed it so much. It seemed like everyone enjoyed this episode. I've seen a lot of people say this is their favorite episode, and I'm gonna have to agree with you. This goes in favorites iconic. I think this episode foreshadows creddy, which I'm a big fan of, and yeah, number 1. I love this episode. Moving on, we got I Can Fix It Myself, which is, a lot of people say that it might be like the farewell episode to Sam, kind of like about the car. And we also get to meet Wes, which maybe is like no, not a reincarnation, but yeah, it's a good introduction to Wes. I like how at first she was very skeptical of him, and in the end they kind of get together, so that's nice. But the highlight of the episode is that car, Vin Diesel, and the relationship between Carly and Sam, which I thought was really special and a great way to write Sam off, to be honest. So for that reason, it's kind of like the Neville episode, where this focus on this old character, and I really like that. I like it whenever they take something from the original series and put it into the new one. And honestly, I think this episode is one of my favorites, and it's going to be iconic for a long time because of that car. So it goes in the number 4th spot for me. Moving on, we have episode 12, I Throw a Flawless Dinner Party, where we get the reintroduction of spaghetti tacos, which everybody loves. And let me talk about the episode first. I saw a lot of negative comments about this episode, which kind of I don't know, impacted me. I thought this episode was kind of good actually, but a lot of people didn't like it so much, especially the grandma, and I don't know, people thought it was a little messy. I saw, so I guess it was, and I did like how all the characters were together. It wasn't so bottled. So what can I say about this episode? Yeah, I like the ideas of Freddy trying to create new apps and trying to get his feet back on the ground in the tech world. I liked how Carly was throwing a dinner party and it didn't really go as planned. I mean, who didn't see that coming? And I don't know, I just liked how all the characters meshed. So there's not much more to say about this episode. It was just kind of like a bottled episode. So yeah, it was a good episode all around, and some good moments. I'd say it goes in the 10th spot. Maybe it deserved to be a little higher, but I got impacted by some comments, and I'll agree. It was all right. It was good. Moving on, and our last episode, it's already been spoiled that it's number 3, is iReturn to Webicon. And I think that a lot of people were a little disappointed with the finale. They expected something bigger. And the only disappointment for me in this episode was not getting a mention of Gibby. But otherwise, this episode perfectly sets up season 2, that cliffhanger of, I'd say, like a triple love, like a quadruple triangle, not triangle, but like a whole ring of like a 4-person triangle love thing with Carly. And we also get Double Dutch and Harper getting together, and Webicon returning from the original, kind of like a Fire Festival spoof, and the documentary thing spoof at the end. I thought it was quite funny, and this episode kept me entertained thoroughly. And I don't know, something about this episode just really spoke to me. I can understand the people who didn't like it. Maybe they just confused them a little bit, but that last scene where Carly looks at Freddy and they look at each other, and Freddy's face, oh my, that moment made the episode for me. So I just have to put this one in favorites, iconic, and it has to go in the 3rd spot. So yeah, that is the final tier list. You can see it on the screen now. Let me know what your tier list was, and just for fun, I did also rank the episodes as you saw, but I guess I focused on this less. I didn't want to make a whole another video ranking them because I don't want to waste your time. So that's season 1. I'm super excited for season 2. I have some more videos planned for iCarly, like predictions and maybe an Angels and Devils, which you also do on this channel. But yeah, let me know your rankings. Let me know your tier lists, and I'll see you guys. Oh, right. Let me just mention as well that we also do these season episode tier lists for different shows, but we've also done it for the original iCarly series, so you can go watch that if you'd like. If you like this video, maybe you'd like that too. So yeah, sorry. So now that's all. This has been the Third Win channel, and I'd like to thank you guys all for watching. This video might have been a little shaky because I'm a little sick. I apologize. So yeah, see you guys soon.